Hello there, hi. It's Christy Shores here again from Homes with Shores eXp Realty, and I want to talk to you about multiple offers in our market right now as a buyer. So I've talked about being a seller in this market in our area with multiple offers, and I want to talk about what it's like to be a buyer in this market with multiple offers. Many of you probably have already heard some of this. Hopefully you're being educated by people you know in your area, and I want to make sure that you have the information to feel confident to move forward in this market, because some people are all in and some people are, this is why I'm holding back. So it really just depends on your situation, but holding back may be the thing for you to do. It really just depends. So that's where we want to dive into what it looks like to be in this market right now with multiple offers, because that's where we're at in our area. To be a buyer with multiple offers, you do have to be competitive. You have to find the ways to make your offer stand out. When there's a multiple offer situation in any kind of market and situation, it's almost really as if you're just shooting in the dark. That's how it can feel. That's just honestly how it can feel, and sometimes how it is. I mean, we know, we have a good idea of what's coming up, depending on the property and what numbers are going to do. But you really still don't know the final numbers of everyone's offer. We're not supposed to know. Your agents should not be sharing that information with others. So as a buyer, one, you need to have your pre-approval. I've been saying this since I've been in real estate. You must have your pre-approval or proof of funds with you, ready to go to submit with your offer. And I really encourage people to use lenders and talk to people who do more than just say, hey, look, here, you can qualify for this based on what you've told me. I really think it's worth talking to a good lender, or a broker, that mortgage broker that can really dive into, take a really cursory look at your financial picture and see where you're really at. I recently had a buyer who got two different numbers and qualifications from two different lenders. So it's important to know that you're working with the best one for you. With that, having your pre-approval tells you what your budget is. You've got to know your budget in this market, because if you go into a multiple offer situation and you love this house, but you know you can't compete at $20,000, $30,000 or more over asking price, we don't want to get into that situation. I want you to know what you can afford. What are you going to be able to qualify for? What cash do you have on hand? Because a lot of times sellers are asking buyers to upfront agree to pay the difference should it not appraise at full value. So we'll get there. So cash on hand. What money do you have? What can you afford? And this is for everyone. I don't care what budget you're at. This is an important piece of the home buying process. So you've got your pre-approval. You know your budget. You also need to think about your contingencies. If you are financing, you cannot really remove that contingency. There's not much you can do. We can try to work with our lenders and say, hey, how quickly can we get loan approval, conditional loan approval? This could appeal to a seller knowing that, you're with a lender who's working your file up front and not on the back end. The appraisal also is a part of that financial contingency. So that's where I just mentioned, that's where the value comes into play. If it appraises at full price, you're good, you're golden. If it does not, sellers want to know up front that you, the buyer, can pay the difference. Because if not, then they've lost that time on market. They've taken their house essentially off the market, out of, the pool for buyers, and they basically almost have to start over again. And they've lost that time. So that's really that's a scenario at any time, in any market. I caution with that, with anyone. This can happen at any point in time, but it's really critical now, because that's what's going to help make you look better and stand out compared to the next three offers that come in. So knowing that you can afford the home and pay the difference, you got to have that conversation with your lender as well. How much can you bring it? How much can it be? You need to know those numbers and what it can be ahead of time, so you know how to compete. Then with your other contingency, you have inspections. I don't encourage people to remove completely home inspection, period. I'm not advising that wholeheartedly right now. Some people are advising it, some people are doing it. It really just is situational. It depends on the property. It depends on you, the buyer. If the property is newer and you trust it and you're confident with your walkthrough that you did initially, or maybe your agent's walkthrough, then go for it. I think still it's worth having a 2 or 3 day inspection period where you can get in there and get in and climb into the attic and do the things that you didn't maybe get to do on your walkthrough, on your visit with your showing time. Again, this depends on the property, right? So I'm working with investors who are just sight unseen, making offers, and they can do 2-3 day inspections because they know they're going to do work to the property anyway. And they know they have the funds to take it on. They already know what that looks like for them. Traditional buyers, it's just going to depend on the property is my recommendation. But keep that in mind. If you can shorten that contingency period, that is one more way to set you apart from the other offers that may come in. And you've got, we went over financing, inspections, appraisals. The other contingency that I'm seeing, which is common right now, because of where we're at, people are moving up, is a home to sell, a sell contingency. So you need to sell your current home to qualify and close on this new home. That's a really hard sell to a seller, no matter what the situation is in the market, finances, or interest rates. It doesn't matter. This can be a hard sell. It's risky for a seller. So I want you to think about that as the buyer. How can you either one, remove that contingency altogether? Can you put a higher down payment down with your lender? Do you already have your house in the market with a contract? That's really the best way to present a sale contingency to a seller. Tell them that your house has already been on the market. You've already got a contract. You have a close date, maybe even through inspections. Those things kind of can give the seller some confidence that it's gonna happen and will close and you will be able to buy their house. So keep that in mind, navigate that with an agent. Let me know if I can answer any of those questions for you. So those are some ways you can set your offer apart from others in this market. Obviously we have to be quick on the draw right now. Although I'm seeing mostly the agents and sellers are giving time, a day or two, for showings to happen so that people have a chance to get in. Because right now multiple offers are just the name of the game. Whereas, there was a time when people said, I'm good, I don't want to get into a multiple offer situation. So playing that wait game as the seller didn't always benefit them. I recommend we do it now. So know that. If you have any questions, let me know. It is very tough out there. If you're looking at new construction, they are saying no contingencies for homes to sell. It's not even really allowed. They've just cut it out completely. So that's a whole other conversation we can have, which is important to have about new construction. But it is also very competitive out there for that. So I'm always here and ready to connect and chat about your real estate needs and goals. Let me know how I can help you, and I will see you guys soon.